My name is John Ertmer. I'm the segment manager for the Millermatic product line and the arc stations. And today we're going to be talking about the Millermatic 211 a little bit. A couple key features you will notice this machine has are the auto set feature. I don't know if you guys have tried this or played around with it at all, but basically as we've gone out and done a bunch of customer research, what we really learned is that the home hobbyist that doesn't weld very often really kind of struggles with setting the parameters like he should be. So, you know, a typical MIG machine, you go in, you set your voltage, you set your wire feed speed, you go get a test piece of material, try the welder out, make sure it's doing exactly what you want it to do. Typically you go back and do a little fine tuning on the wire feed speed a couple times to get exactly where you want and you're ready to go. With the auto set feature though, what we really did is we wanted to design a machine so that took that guesswork out of it for the end user or the personal user. So the auto set works by simply selecting the wire diameter that you have inside of the machine. And as you guys know, this machine is capable of holding a 4/8" spool of wire. So we typically recommend anywhere from 024 all the way up to 030 or 035. But as you'll notice on here, on the 211, we really found that the 030 and the 035 are the two best diameter wires to be using. So as long as you're hooked up to C25 gas on the backside, which is 75% argon, 25% CO2, you can select the wire diameter you have inside. If we have the power on, you'll see a blue light comes on right away, and that lets you know you're in the auto set mode. Once you do that, we provide a material thickness gauge for the home user. They can go and test exactly what thickness they're on. Simply come and select the parameter they're on then, and it automatically sets voltage and wire feed speed for them, so they don't have to do any adjustments to it. Really takes the guesswork out of it. You know, I cheat at home too, as you know, I actually have one of these, and you know, a lot of times when I'm underneath the car welding or doing a project, you know, you don't want to come out and have to readjust. So the nice part is with auto set, get under there, you know your voltage is set right, your wire feed set right, simply go pull the trigger and you're ready to go. This machine is capable of welding from 24 gauge all the way up to 3/8 of an inch. So it has a lot of power, and that's on the 230 volt setting. If you go back to 115, it will weld from 24 gauge all the way up to 3/16 of an inch. Now, one thing I do want to point out that with the two different voltage settings, we actually did set the characteristics up a little bit different on it. As you set it on 230, it is set for a little bit thicker material, so it's going to be a little bit stronger, I should say harsher arc. I mean, it's not like it gets real flary or spattery, but it does have a little bit stronger arc characteristic. You'll notice that. If you want a softer arc with a little bit more inductance, if you put it on 115, it actually has a little bit softer, smoother arc, you'll notice. So as you guys are doing a bunch of sheet metal work, sometimes it'll actually behave a little bit nicer or weld the way you want it to on 115. So if you're on 230 and you're going, it just seems like the arc's harsh, try it on 115 and you'll see it's just a little bit easier to weld with. So, but on the other hand, you know, you start getting into some frame stuff and you want to step up into the, you know, some 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch material, put it on 230 and this machine will perform flawlessly. So it makes it a real nice machine. Pretty sure you guys are used to the MVP plug. Nice part with this is, you know, you're not relinking a machine on the inside. You're not having to go and rewire a machine. Literally, you pull one plug off, put the other one on, and you're ready to go. And on the inside, there's a handy little storage compartment right now that's holding your spool hub, but that's where you can put the other plug so it'll stay right with the machine and you won't lose it. For those times, I should also mention, and I'm going to turn the machine so we can actually see what's going on here. For those times when you're not actually going to be using, you know, the auto set feature and you're not on C25 gas, you're doing some stainless or aluminum, you do have the ability to go in and there's a parameter chart that's going to have all of your settings for everything from flux core, stainless, aluminum, and the different gases and wire diameters. That'll get you pretty darn close. So these are pretty accurate. Also, don't forget, if you ever want to go do flux core, don't forget to change your polarity block over too. That's the other big thing that guys forget to do sometimes. So remember that and it'll help you out. We do have a drive system in here that is a single drive roll. Nice part is it is a quick change drive roll, so if you want to change from one diameter to a different one, simply pop the drive roll off, turn it to whatever side you want it on, and you're ready to go. Makes it real easy. It doesn't take a whole lot to set it up or do anything different then. We also have, this machine also has the ability to be used with an aluminum spool gun to do aluminum, and the machine will do between 16 gauge all the way up through 3/8 of an inch on aluminum. Nice part with that is it's the spool gun we've designed is really, again, kind of that home hobbyist personal user type of spool gun, and you simply take your MIG gun out, plug the spool gun in, and flip the switch on the front, and you're all set to go. It's going to be set up and ready to go. So simply change the gas in the back and system's ready to go weld aluminum. Again, you can't use the auto set for that though, so just make sure you go in and set the machine manually. One other really neat feature I want to show you guys that this machine has, and I'm going to have to put it back on 110 here, is called a short circuit protection, and what that does, and it's actually, I don't know if you guys ever burned a contact tip back and melted the wire to a contact tip. It doesn't happen a lot on mild steel, but it happens a lot on aluminum. And the neat part of this machine is, and home hobbyists always worry about, you know, if I go in and I short the machine out, what happens? With this one, we have what's called that tip saver program. So what happens is if you come in and actually look, you can actually, if you short this out, you'll melt that wire right to the contact tip, and then it doesn't want to do anything, and you kind of wasted a $2 or $3 contact tip. And some of the smaller machines are kind of famous for doing that. Fortunately with Miller, all of our machines have what's called tip saver on it. So if I put this on and I go right to a piece of material, hear that right there? Didn't melt it to the contact tip, so that's a big advantage for ours that none of the competitors have. So that's a patented feature, along with the auto set and the MVP plug.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So that's kind of the machine in a nutshell. Do you guys have any questions, machine-wise or process-wise?
Now, when you set it on the